All right, first off, we're doing sequences. There's a difference between sequences and patterns. Okay? There's a distinct difference between sequences and patterns. All right, so let's find out what that difference is. This is a pattern. Okay, this is a pattern. All right? From 1 to 4, it's plus 3. From 4 to 9, it's plus 5. 5 to 16, or 9 to 16 is plus 7. This would be plus 9. This would be plus 11. See the pattern? Okay? This is not a sequence. This is a pattern. Okay? Has a distinct pattern to it. You get a sequence of a series of numbers, but it's not a sequence. Okay? By the way, what this really is it's 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, and so on. Okay, so the difference then is this. In a sequence, okay, this is sequence. Okay, this is an arithmetic sequence. What happens on the arithmetic sequence is this number here is always the same every single time. So we added 4 there. We added 4 there. We added 4 there. We add 4 there. We add 4 there. In a sequence, this number will always be exactly the same. Okay? That's a sequence. All right? There are 2 types of sequences. There are arithmetic sequences. Okay? Arithmetic sequences means we are adding numbers. We only add. Okay? We never subtract. So we either add a positive number or we add a negative number. We would never subtract. Okay? The second kind of sequence is called a geometric sequence. Okay? In a geometric sequence, we multiply. We never divide. Okay? So we either multiply if the sequence is going up, we're multiplying by a whole number. If the sequence is going down in value, we're multiplying by a fraction. Okay? So that's how we can tell. Also in a geometric sequence, you may get a sequence that flips signs. So you may get one that goes like this. So the signs will flip-flop back and forth on you. When your signs flip-flop back and forth on you, that means you're multiplying by a negative number. Okay? So your number you're multiplying by here is negative 2. Because 2 times negative 2 will be negative 4, but negative 4 times negative 2 will give you a positive 8. And positive 8 times negative 2 will give you a negative 16. So the number, the sign flops back and forth because you're multiplying by a negative number. Okay? So those things will happen, those kind of things. As we go through these, you'll start recognizing these better. Alright? Okay, so let's go look at these sequences. Okay, so page 1. Okay, they tell you this is an arithmetic sequence. The first thing they tell you, this is an arithmetic sequence. What does that mean? That means we're adding something. Okay? Alright, so if you look at these numbers, how much are we adding between each number here? Okay? So this is plus 7. This is plus 7, right? Okay, they want the next 2 terms. So how do I find the next term? You take 20, you add 7 to it. To get the next term, you take 27 and add 7 to it. Okay, now, if you get lost and can't find out what the sequence, what the number is your time's adding by, reverse the program. Okay, meaning this. Because addition always goes to the right, and we always add. If I go to the left and I subtract, it will tell me what my number is. Okay, for me, it's like this. If I take 20 and minus 13, I get 7. If I take 13 and minus 6, I get 7. So if I do reverse, it'll tell you what that number is right there. Okay? That's kind of a secret to doing these. If you get lost, go backwards. Okay? Alright, look at the second sequence. Reckon, we're not looking that way, we're looking this way. Second sequence. Okay, what's happening? See this going down? Value's going down, that means we're adding a negative number. Okay, so from 28 to 23 is how far? If we're not sure, we're up there. I don't know where you're at, but we're up there. Okay? If we're not sure, take 18 and minus 23 from it. That will give you a negative 5. 23 minus 20 will also give you a negative 5. That means we're adding a negative 5 to this. Okay, so to get your next two numbers in, take 18 and add a negative 5 to it. 18 plus negative 5 is? Okay. And 13 plus negative 5 is 8. Okay? Alright, this number that's on the bottom here that we're doing each time, that's called the common difference. That's what makes the difference between your numbers. So this common difference right here, we call it D. We use the variable D for that. Our common difference here is negative 5. That's the number we use to find our next number. Okay, we added a negative 5 to both sides. On that top one, that common difference was 7. Okay? Are we okay with that? Okay, so let's go down and look at the bottom there then. On these down here, they would like us to find it. Number one, is it or is it not an arithmetic sequence? If it is an arithmetic sequence, they would like to know what the common difference is. Okay? So look at the first sequence. Is this arithmetic?
No.
Okay? Okay, this is plus 2. This is plus 4. This is plus 8, so it's definitely not arithmetic. What is this? Well, it's not plus 2, it's times 2. This is times 2 each time. This is actually a geometric sequence. Okay? Because 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, so forth and so on. So this is not arithmetic. So that's why I answered, I'm going to leave it alone. Okay? It definitely is geometric, though. For future reference. Alright, what about this one here? Now, if you look at the values are going down in number. So it's going from 4 to negative 2 to negative 8 to negative 14. So it's going down. If you want to find out how much it's going down, take negative 14 minus negative 8 on your calculator. Do negative 14 minus negative 8, go backwards. You got to do it at least twice. So then take negative 8 minus negative 2. You got to get the same number twice. Okay? Negative 6. So because you get it twice, both times negative 6, that means that these are arithmetic, and our common ratio, or common difference, is negative 6. Okay? All right, tell me about the bottom one. Is it arithmetic?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the common difference? Okay. You okay with that? All right. Change page. Now, most units start out. Okay, this is a geometric sequence. What does that mean? It means we're multiplying. Okay? So again, if you're not sure how to, that means multiply goes this way, we're multiplying. Going backwards, we would divide. Find that ratio, okay? What? What'd you say it was? Yeah, good job. Okay, look, guys, seriously, use this as a tool. 18 divided by 6. That's 3. 6 divided by 2. Okay? So your common ratio, by the way, this time it's called the common ratio because we're multiplying, and we use the letter R. So common differences for adding, common ratios for multiplying. Okay? So our common ratio is 3 this time. So our next two terms are 18 times 3. And then we go 54 times 3. Okay? One thing you should know about geometric sequences, they get extremely large, extremely fast. Okay? So by the time you get to the 10th, 11th, and 12th term, you're into the millions and billions. Because I want to know what I'm timing it by. Okay? That's my common ratio, right? 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 3 is 18. Oh, this is my next, it's just fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. Okay? Didn't have, what's the next two numbers? So I just went, here's the next number, here's the next number. Fill in the blanks. Make sense? Okay. So looking at this one, first thing we notice, the value of my numbers are going up. So I'm times by a whole number. But look what's happening with my sign. Going from positive to negative to positive. That means I'm multiplying by a negative number. Okay? Okay, so when you go backwards, do 48 divided by negative 12. No, it's not 4. There you go. Okay? The negative sign means something. You got to use it. Okay? Negative 12 divided by positive 3, negative 4. So my common ratio is negative 4. Okay, so what's 48 times negative 4? What is it? No, it's not. Negative 192. Okay? What's negative 192 times negative 4? What is it? Okay. No, positive this time. Okay? You can cut the peanut gallery talk. Just go back to learning, okay? Hey! Don't need that kind of stuff in here. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's check these three out. Are they geometric or are they not? Okay? All right. Okay, one thing you notice about geometric, they jump pretty big numbers pretty fast. Okay, so this is a pretty good idea. This might be geometric. Take it backwards, find what the number is. What's 4,000 divided by 400? Okay? So this is geometric. And my common ratio is 10. Okay, what about the next one? Okay? This is, you got to be kind of careful on these. Okay? This is plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. Guys, even on your assignment, they might throw a curveball at you. Okay? They might have this be a plus 4, this be a plus 4, this be a plus 5. If they do that, it's not geometric anymore. It's not arithmetic. So we've had some questions and things where people, hey, the first two are plus 5, that was plus 5, I should be good. And all of a sudden, the next one after that's a plus 3 or something like that. Then it makes it bad. So make sure you check all the numbers in your sequence, make sure they all work. Well, those are plus 4. But like I said, they're seeing if you know how to solve it. So they're going to give you the first two will work, third one won't work. That means the whole thing's out. Okay? Make sense? So check them all. Alright? Yeah, this is not geometric. Okay. Now, what about this one? Okay. But look how the numbers are, see how the value of the numbers going down? My absolute value, I'm at 880, I'm at 440, I'm at 220, I'm at 110. These values are going down. That means I'm multiplying by a fraction. This has a fractional. Okay? You're timesing by a fraction. No, we don't divide. That's the trick. We don't divide. We times by a fraction. Thank you. Okay? Times by negative 1/2. Okay, now yes, guys, dividing by negative 2 and times by negative 1/2 is the exact same process. But for sequence, we do never divide. So we have to put it in fraction form and times by negative 1/2. Okay? Make sense? Okay. So, this is geometric. This is negative 1/2 for the common ratio. Okay? Alright, on the last part of your assignment, you're going to get something out of either one or the other. You got to decide which one it is. Or maybe neither. Okay? So look at this sequence, this series of numbers. Is this a sequence? What kind of sequence? And what's its common, difference in? Negative 7, right? So this is arithmetic, and we know it's negative 7 going down, right? Does it do it for all of them? Yeah. Okay. Now, here's a hint. See how fast they're jumping in numbers? This might be geometric. Okay, let's find out. What's 125 divided by 64? Do it on your calculator. 125 divided by 64. You got it? Do it on your calculator. Leave it on now. Leave it on your screen. Don't clear it. So do 125 divided by 64. Then do 64 divided by 27. Do you get the same number? Okay, so we know it's not geometric. What about subtraction? What's 125 minus 64? What's 64 minus 27? Is that the same number? Then it's not arithmetic either. Therefore, it's got to be neither. If you don't get the same number by doing one of the two processes, you'll not be one of those processes, okay? All right, last one. Okay? I'm thinking that 40 minus 120 is negative 80, but 120 minus 360 is negative 240. I don't think that's going to be arithmetic. What about 40 divided by 120? What's 40 divided by 120? 0.3 repeat forever? Okay, what's 120 divided by 360? Same number? Okay, so there's geometric. And our common ratio would be 1/3, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen,